of black bear sightings here in Rochester, and
Yeah.
all I keep thinking is Nick Whalen when he shit his pants when
The
he was
beehole.
when
The
he shit his
beehole.
pants when the bear was staring right at him.
Hey, in July there's going to be some silver bear sightings.
Yeah, that's right. Doug's coming to Rochester.
Oh.
Hey.
I didn't know what that meant.
It's because I have silver hair.
You do.
Fuck.
It's completely silver. I feel like the last time I saw you, there was a little bit like it was still fighting for its life. Like, yeah, there you go, in the back.
Actually,
Yeah, there's a little, my
do
lighting
you-
sucks in here. I have low grade lighting. I need to step it up a bit.
little do you know, Doug does that like silver dye that all the women do nowadays.
Dude, so
I would never dye my hair.
my son, we're sitting on the sofa watching TV yesterday or the day before, and he turns to me and he goes, "Dad, like, can't you dye your beard?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I could." He was like, "Because wouldn't you want it to be like, not gray?" And
The
I'm
ladies
like,
love the salt and pepper, man. Don't bother.
I was like, "No, I'm proud of this." Besides the fact that I'd look like a fucking doofus coming into work the next day, like Shane.
Yeah, where'd Shaney
You
McBlackbeard come from?
You tripped and
Yeah.
fell in the fountain of youth the day before you went back to
Try
work.
with mine, trying to find the right shade of red, and then you
Good
get the
luck.
wrong shade. And
You mean
you're
the
just
right shade of
"Ooh."
orange?
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there, you're just like, you go to work, and you're just like, ooh, this was the wrong shade. It's a bit
Every
dark.
shade is the wrong shade if you're a dude and you're dyeing your beard hair. Like, just
Yeah,
no,
just
just
don't.
no,
Just
just
don't.
anyone,
Leave it.
even women. I don't look. Let the gray. I
Beard
love
hair?
the gray streak on a woman. Well, not their beard hair. No, I prefer that they shave.
Yeah,
it.
I like the gray too, Shane.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that one.
But women especially women that have like gray streaks, just not the whole fucking head looking like
Like
So,
silver.
yeah, silver.
Like Anna on Frozen. I hear
Exactly. Yeah, that's hot. We're checking out cartoon characters now. What the hell's going on here?
We've gone downhill already. We haven't even technically.
It's a
we
subcategory.
technically started, but we haven't started recording. Yeah. All right, you guys want to roll into it? You guys ready?
Yeah,
Go.
let's do
I
it.
feel like I'm as good as I'm ever going to be, which is not very good. So, give
It
me
doesn't
like.
get better. I've been
I
this
know.
way forever.
All right, well, give me like 2 seconds, and then we'll drop. Welcome back to the Dynasty Happy Hour. This week we have a special guest. Our annual Tinder episode is upon us with our good friend, roommate at one time. You see the four guys. If you're watching on YouTube, first of all, like and subscribe. Thank you very much. But you're seeing four of us live and in the flesh. Now, these four adult male bodies have all slept in the same hotel room. I'm just putting it out there. I don't kiss and tell about what happened, but it was an
There was
experience.
no kissing.
2
At the
years
same
ago.
time.
Yeah.
There was
Stayed
no
in the
kissing at the
hotel room
same
at the same
time.
time.
No.
Yeah.
We all stayed in the same bed. One bed.
What? Even though there was two.
We chose to stay in one bed.
We
Yeah,
didn't
was
even
a
push them together. We didn't even
Yeah.
push them
Queen
together.
and a
It was just
half.
one.
Yeah, if you've seen Human Centipede, we didn't even need a bed. It was amazing. It was great. We just used the hallway down in the hotel there in Canton, Ohio. It was an amazing experience.
We were in Canning? I thought we were in Spooning, Ohio.
Spooning, Ohio? Forking.
Oh, God.
And just-
Forking,
that
Ohio.
was so bad.
Yeah.
Just get,
Just to go with the theme of this episode, worst date movie ever is probably The Human Centipede. Probably.
you actually watched
If you
that?
brought a person on a date, you found out that they're super into some weird stuff, so maybe not a complete loss.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to defecate on their chest later, which is kind of cool,
Jesus.
but,
I
still
mean,
very odd.
Me and my wife's first movie was Exorcist of Emily Rose, so I mean, yeah. it was sweet.
Shane's looking for the rolling brown out on his first date. Oh, good time. So yes, we are doing the Tinder episode. We are swiping left or right on these rookies at their ADP. But before we get into that, I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. They are running some awesome contests on Underdog right now. Daily Best Balls drafts have begun. Best Ball Mania is back. It's Best Ball Mania 4. It's the biggest Underdog contest ever. $3 million to first place for playing fantasy football. Life-changing money is on the line on Best Ball Mania. You can go on there and join that right now. And when you do, you can use code DHH. They're going to match up to $100. So if you're rolling like a baller, you're going to put $100 in. They're going to match it. You'll have $200. Go enter a bunch of Best Ball Manias and win that $3 million. And when you do, like, hey, give us 10%. I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool, right? We can do that, right?
Yeah.
They also have the puppy tournament. If you want to do a little bit lower stakes, it's $5 to enter. There is $500,000 in prizes in that. Baseball's currently in swing right now. The NBA Finals are upon us. Nuggets are up 1-0. I hope they beat the Heat because the Heat beat my Celtics. Anyway, but there's golf, hockey finals are upon us as well. And NFL Big Board 2023 rosters are coming. So all the best ball all the time. We're getting some nice ADP data from Underdog as well. It's the best way to play daily fantasy. Once again, code DHH and have your deposit up to $100. It's matched right away. So, Shane, before we roll into some player news, because we've got some, it is OTA season, so I don't want to get too much down narrative street because I feel like that's can be a waste of time. And honestly, every other podcast does it like, oh, this rookie was the best and this and that. I don't want to get into all that. OTAs are cool. Like, they're running against other rookies or undrafted guys like, oh, Sam Laporta looks like the best player? You don't say. Shocker. Anyway, I want to know, Shane, how the hell have you been, my friend?
Wait, so we're not going to talk about Justin Ross?
No, if you want to hear about that, go listen to the Dynasty Trades HQ. Sipes will just gnaw your ear off all the time about all these players. Dude,
Yeah, that's what's going on there. Yeah, life's good. No complaints. I get scared to say that out loud, mostly because I have depression issues. So when you say things like that out loud, you're
all right. We don't want your bad vibes on here.
cosmically asking for bad things to happen. But I can't complain. Life is pretty good. A little bit of a cold streak on the dating front, but maybe this Tinder episode can help me out. And hey, if there's any women or dudes, whatever, pretty dudes, listening to DHH and you want to get freaky, hit me up. I'm into whatever.
Yeah, I feel like Ohio wasn't freaky enough, so next time we just got to up the ante.
You heard the beginning.
I haven't been to an Ohio strip club in almost a year, and that's an experience unlike many others. So I can't wait.
Once
I
again,
can only
Sipes,
imagine.
Thank you for that.
Oh boy,
are
you going to the expo this year, Shane?
Yeah, I have somewhere to stay. I don't actually have a way to go yet. I haven't bought a plane ticket.
Start
and
walking.
I was supposed to get a ride with someone. I'd give a shout out to their podcast on the show, but I'm not
For a
going
ride.
to because every time.
For a ride.
Yeah, well, look, I'm easy. I am not gonna. You know me.
Shane's like, gag me
Quid
and
pro
stuff
quo.
me in a trunk.
All
We're
right.
good.
Exactly.
Let's get to this episode.
You guys want handies the whole way? Whatever. That goes for everybody in the car, man.
Soft as hands.
Whatever.
Hey, we'll get that arthritis popping, and no big deal. No big deal. Let's get into some player news that has come about this week. There's a lot of tight end hype and some tight end hope. Broncos coach Sean Payton said the team is starting to develop how to use second-year tight end Greg Dulcich. Payton plans to use Dulcich in a joker role, lining him up at multiple spots to create mismatches, which makes a ton of sense based on their personnel. The Broncos added to the tight end room this offseason, trading for ex-Saints tight end Adam Troutman. Cool. But Dulcich is the favorite to lead the group in targets. I'm going to have James take this one because James is an OG Greg Dulcich guy. Hyper athletic, had a great rookie season. I went out and acquired Greg Dulcich in a couple of leagues this offseason, and then they hired Sean Payton, and I felt good. So, James, this news got to make you feeling pretty good about Dulcich. I know that you have him across quite a few leagues, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, what better way to start OTAs than hear that Greg Dulcich is going to be a joker in the offense, playing around, joking all over the defense in the AFC West. I like it. I do. I think Greg Dulcich has the physicality and the talent to be a great asset for Russell Wilson. We didn't see it too much last year. We saw a taste of it. I'm in on him for Dynasty. That's for sure.
What do you think, Tyler? He's plays in a uniform that shares your hair color, so you gotta like him, right?
Well, I'm not going to do a corny joke once again that James has been just on a hot streak tonight with those. So
Hot streak?
I said one joke.
It's been two strikes, sir. No, I really like this fit with him, and I mean, people are like, oh, the Jimmy Graham role. Okay, it's been years since we've seen that. Let's just throw that out. Dulcich,
And
though,
why do people think Adam Troutman's still a thing? He's not.
It's not going to happen. Dulcich is a guy that can play an Evan Ingram style of role. He's that type of player, and I think we're looking at a big jump from him. Cortland Sutton, I would not be shocked if a lot of his targets kind of go into the
another
wind,
team.
go into the wind, and then Dulcich gets those. I think Judy and Tim Patrick are the two receivers that will probably play there. So yeah, I really like this, and it seems like a really good buying opportunity right now because nobody's really talking about him with Adam Troutman taking a lot of the hype.
That makes no sense to me, the Troutman thing. I know that he
Nope.
used to play for Peyton. I think Dulcich is right around tight end 12 right now in ADP. So he's back in tight end 1, but I think he's got a nice ceiling, especially with Russ. Shane, what's your feeling on Greg Dulcich here?
Well, I passed out after Tyler said something about the Jimmy Graham role, and what was key about that Jimmy Graham role in the offense is the Jimmy Graham part, and none of these people are Jimmy Graham, not one of them. Sure, Dulcich can be a low end tight end 1, but I mean, really, what's that worth?
7 touchdowns, 400 yards.
7 touchdowns, 400
That's all you got to do to
yards.
finish as a tight end 1 at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's not particularly exciting to me. I obviously he had a decent rookie year, right? We like what we saw as a rookie. I am not concerned even a little bit about Troutman. Like the dude is not good. You are what you show us that you are, and he's shown us that he's not good. So I mean, there's obviously going to be targets there for Dulcich when Cortland Sutton gets hurt inevitably. KJ Hamler's already hurt, right?
Yep.
Don't forget Marvin Mims.
Yeah, Marvin. Oh, there is Marvin Mims, obviously.
There's hope, Marvin Mims.
But,
So they
look,
got 3
maybe
receivers.
Dulcich can get to 16, 70% target share. And, maybe he could
That'd be
slide
great.
all the way up to, like, tight end 9. And, I would take that as a win if I'm a Dulcich owner.
I would like that. Just a quick note on another tight end is Falcons coach Arthur Smith expects tight end Kyle Pitts with his knee injury to be ready for the start of the season. Pretty obvious. He hasn't practiced while recovering from November MCL surgery. Atlanta plans to play it safe with Pitts. Obviously, he's a top 5 pick, a building block, if you will, likely holding him out for team drills until training camp. So I don't think we need to talk too much about that. Steelers tight end Pat. Yes. Steelers tight end Pat Freiermuth has been practicing at OTAs with his knee injury. He sprained his MCL in their regular season finale, but the injury hasn't cost him any time this offseason. So the 24-year-old is participating in voluntary OTAs. I think Freiermuth could take a jump this year because of the addition to the offensive line, the addition of Darnell Washington blocking in line. And, a tight end is a young quarterback's best friend typically. So I think Freiermuth, my only concern with him, especially in Dynasty, is he's had quite a history of concussions. So that'd be one thing to keep an eye on. But I think statistically, Freiermuth could make a nice jump here in what is year 3 now, I believe. So big news. There's been a couple of articles on ESPN about Dalvin Cook in his time with the Minnesota Vikings. And it looks like they are going to part ways eventually. Supposedly there's teams interested in Dalvin Cook, whether he gets cut. Not really interested in trading him, and they have significant deals apparently. Like who has significant deals for running backs nowadays? Nobody. But his potential landing spot is in Miami. Obviously, he's from Miami originally. I know people have talked about Buffalo, so he could pair with his brother James Cook. But Miami has been linked to Cook since the start of the NFL offseason in March. The Dolphins have re-signed dusty running backs Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. They drafted very small but very fast Devin Achane. Trading for Cook would create a crowded depth chart in Miami, but would give the Dolphins a true 3-down starter they've lacked for quite a while. The Vikings trading Cook seems likely, if not completely certain, in the coming weeks. I think he's probably not going to get traded. I think he gets cut. Tyler, you're up in Minnesota. What are you hearing? What is Eric Decker's cousin telling you?
Nobody really knows, and it's a toss-up. There's still rumors that because the running back market is not great, he could just restructure. He could change his mind any day, decide to take a pay cut, and
Like
stay
Aaron
with the
Jones
Vikings.
restructured to stay.
Yeah, and it could literally happen any day. One day he could just wake up and be like, you know what? I'm going to stay with Minnesota. I'm going to restructure, and I'm just going to be their starting running back because any other place, I might not get the opportunity I get here. And that could legit happen. All it takes is for him to decide that.
Shane, what do you think about if Dalvin Cook went to Miami? How would you feel about that?
Good. I'd feel good.
You don't think his value changes a ton?
No, I don't think it changes his value much at all. And I think it'd be funny to just watch everyone that drafted Devin Achane at like
in the first round,
just absolutely crumble. And I'm okay with taking him in the first round, right? Because when you get to 110, 111, 112,
this
it's
class is like
him, Kincaid, Miller. Although personally, I would take Miller, but I could see it. But like the folks that people that are drafting him like 107 or something like that. I'm like, guys, like I like Devin Achane. It's just I don't think he's got the build to be. He's 188 pounds. Like, I outweigh that guy by 40 pounds. If I could catch him, he would be in serious trouble.
Do the math, ladies.
Yes. Do the math, exactly. Someone asked on the chat, gonna go. I think I got that right. Assuming Cook is gone, how high would you have Alexander in Dynasty? I just made a trade with Alexander Madison involved a few days ago. We were in a auction draft for your rookies, and I moved Alexander Madison, I moved Michael Gallup, and I moved $250 of my budget for Drake London. Now, so Robbie Jeffries, he's like, oh, I don't know about that trade. And I was like, look, everyone thinks that Madison's going to take over and be a 3-down guy, which could happen. But I have so many RB2s on that particular roster. If I can use Gallup, Madison, and some cash to get Drake London, who is I think he's wide receiver 12 or 13 in startups right now, who I think is going to have the leap in year 2. And I think he's going to increase in value where Gallup's not going to. For me to buy a player like Drake London with cash in these leagues is expensive. So I would rather get out in front of it now. Maybe I miss out a little bit on Madison, but I have so many RB2s. I have Tony Pollard. I have guys like A.J. Dillon, Khalil Herbert. Like, I've got running backs in depth. I just don't have any studs. To me, I added Drake London, which I think I probably could have waited and maybe gotten some more value with Madison, but I'd rather pull the trigger now while it's there instead of maybe missing out on that deal. James, what do you think about that?
I mean, I like the scenario where you're getting rid of Madison to upgrade at wide receiver. That's a plan for Dynasty in a nutshell. But I mean, to answer McGonagall's question here, assuming Cook is gone, I have Alexander Madison as a low-end RB2. Like, we've seen him be the 3-down back in a couple games here or there throughout his first 3 years of his career. And it's about time that he takes the next step. He's only 24 years old. He's got another contract ready to go behind this. All he has to do is prove out as the 3-down back. And I think he could do it. Is he Dalvin Cook? No, absolutely not. Does the offense need him? Yeah, but the offense doesn't need him to be Dalvin Cook. They added another wide receiver this year. I think they're going to continue to throw the ball. Kevin O'Connell is stay put on throwing the ball down the field with Kirk Cousins, and I think it just continues. And I think Alexander Madison, low end RB2, is a good way to go.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting backfield with Madison, now Dwayne McBride. We've got Chandler there from last year, and their kickoff returner Nene Nwangu, who is electric. I don't know he's going to get many carries, but they have talent in that backfield. So for me, Madison's ceiling, I think, is an RB2. I don't think he's ever going to be an RB1,
Correct.
Finishing the season kind of guy.
He'll have big games, but my
Sure.
issue is he has not, every time we've seen him with the workload, he
gets
has also
dinged up.
gotten hurt.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So trade running backs for young wide receivers, boys. That's the moral of the story.
I would trade him as soon as he gets promoted.
Yeah. Last note we have is on Rashad Penny with a broken fibula, is participating in Eagles OTAs. We hadn't heard much of Penny's health, and we know that he's injured every single year. He went down last October for the Seahawks, but his presence on the June practice field for Philly means he's ready to go for 2023, at least for now. Penny was spotted both taking handoffs and running routes, so he does not appear to be limited. Philadelphia is probably shaping up to be one of the more interesting backfields in the NFL. Obviously, with the addition of DeAndre Swift on draft day, they still have Kenny Gainwell there. Boston Scott returned. What I like to call a hot mess. I think we all see that Penny has potential. He won people leagues just 2 years ago when he exploded in week 13 to 17. So we know that he can be a home run hitter and he could be good. Situation to monitor. I'm not investing much in this Eagles backfield whatsoever. I just don't trust Rashad Penny. That's what it comes down to. The guy's hurt every single year, and it's usually a soft tissue issue. So I am just passing on Penny. Anybody buying Penny as the running back for Philadelphia here? Or are we just kind of all on the same page?
I really don't want to buy in on it. I mean, it's an easy, cheap investment if you're lingering at the running back position, but I wouldn't go anything more than a late third, early fourth round pick.
I'm not touching him.
I think he's probably fetching like late seconds, early thirds.
I'm not touching him because he's going to get hurt if I do. So,
good point.
I mean, he's going to get hurt if you don't either way. I mean, you might as well take a
Very
shot.
true.
Yeah. Shane, any thoughts on Rashad Penny?
No, I mean, look, the dude's perpetually injured. Usually I'm okay with a lot of people are like, oh, you don't need to buy a running back now. And I'm like, whatever, you buy him now. It helps your record, helps you get some wins. But Penny ain't the dude for that because he literally, it's just like, all right, let me see when I actually need you, like for a week. That's when I want to buy you because I think I can count on you for like a week at a time. That's
he misheard you and he thought it was weak. WEAK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I got you. Don't worry.
If you're gonna go out and buy a running back, go buy a guy like Antonio Gibson, somebody that
AJ Dillon
has proven to be able to catch passes. Yeah, like AJ Dillon. Even go like Dwayne McBride, Ty Chandler, like we just talked about. Those guys that have a chance to get some carries and are pretty much free.
Heck, even Pierre Strong, if you're looking on the bargain bin.
James Conner, bargain bin.
Legit.
Deontay Ingram, bargain bin.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of cheap
Jerome
running backs out
Ford.
there. Yes, thank you
Jerome
for trading
Ford.
him to me, Tyler, in one league. I appreciate it.
I don't remember doing that. I don't know.
You did. I love you. Thank you. All right. Moving on. We want to give a shout out to our longest standing sponsor. It's Trophy Smack. Once again, hosting the live Scott Fishbowl 13 draft out in LA. I wish I could go to it. Tyler, you need to talk to their people, need to talk to our people, and get us on a plane and get us out there, buddy. That's what we need to do.
Cubes. That's you.
I think that's our I think we might be their longest standing podcast. Is that right? I think that is.
Well, we are sitting, but yeah.
Just say you are. I mean,
we are the longest one. You know what? We are grandfathered
We need a trophy
in.
saying that.
Yeah, we are
Trophy.
grandfathered into all the fun stuff. So Trophy Smack,
on a
Matt and
trophy.
team, make it happen. Cubes, let's get this thing done. But you can upgrade your fantasy league today, whether it's football, hockey, basketball, baseball, soccer, pretty much anything under the sun. You want to do axe throwing trophies? Everything's customizable. You got a trophy for playing cribbage, for playing darts. You want to make a trophy for tater tot hot dish? You can do it. They're all customizable. It's absolutely amazing. Trophy Smack has the right trophy for you. When you use code DHHRing, you get a free $60 championship ring with the purchase of a trophy or belt. Give it to the high scorer. Keep it for yourself. Whatever you want to do, it's free. It's for you. Code DHHRing. They also have stuff for all the losers of your league. So if someone's not so good, you want to get them a toilet seat or some other fun gift, if you will, trophy, you can do that. Once again, code DHHRing for that free ring at the checkout. All right, are we ready to swipe left and right?
Got your fingers ready? Your phalanges,
now,
Shane?
so swiping right is you're down and you want to match. Swiping left is you're like, nah, I'm good, pass.
Right. And then sometimes you swipe the wrong way. And it's incredibly awkward.
Right?
If the profile says perfectly imperfect, it's an automatic swipe left.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that sounds great. No,
I mean, I'm always shooting for someone that's looking for their partner in crime. That's what I'm definitely looking for.
Yes, partner.
Everybody's looking for a partner in crime.
All right.
Honey looking for her Clyde.
So explaining this episode, we go through rookie ADP on DLF, and what we're going to do is Shane is going to take the control of the phone, and he's going to do the swiping and explain why he is liking these these rookies around the ADP. So, Doug, I'm going to let you kind of tell the range of players, like say Jordan Addison, for example, and then give the range of receivers around him. And then Shane's going to decide.
Okay. I think I got it.
And just to keep this as true to life as possible, I'm going to go on Bumble and just start swiping on people now.
What's Bumble?
It is a
Another
app.
B story?
It's a dating app.
Oh.
It's another B-hole story.
About
From
the B-hole
Tyler.
story?
B-hole stories. B-holes.
We thought we had
Bumblebee.
another B-hole. We thought we had
Gotcha.
another B-hole in the backyard. But we just covered it up real quick. It was just a tiny B-hole.
Yes, just a tiny B-hole. All right, the best kind, to be honest. All right, let's get into some DLF ADP, starting with the rookie 101 on the board. He is the RB1 in Dynasty, 11th overall in Superflex leads. Bijan Robinson. Some players that are taken right around him, not necessarily by the B-hole, but around him, is A.J. Brown at 10th overall, Jalen Waddle at 12, CeeDee Lamb at 13, Justin Fields at 14, and Garrett Wilson at 15.
Unreal.
So Shane, you opened up the app, you see it. What do you do?
I am swiping right. Mostly because I'm in the thighs. I like big backsides.
You like weird
and
like
mustard
shaved head dreadlock
pumps?
things?
Yeah.
Dijon mustard.
Dude, I'm all look. He's the running back 2 in Dynasty. Brees Hall's the running back one, but that's okay. That'll be mine and James' secret. But
Yeah.
it's definitely it's Bijan, dude. If you're trying to build a roster, unlike everyone else, because everybody's on the double tap quarterback deal, or just getting quarterbacks, and if you want to try to build another way, I'm okay with getting Bijan here and then coming back around and getting a quarterback.
All right. And currently, just for you out there, Brees Hall currently the RB4, 24th overall, which is seems a little maybe on the low side, but I get it. He's coming back from an ACL, whatever. All right. Any thoughts on Bijan, guys? If you were faced with the same decision, James and Tyler, are you swiping left or are you swiping right?
I'm swiping left at that early just because of my thoughts of running back too. If I'm building, I am doing what Shane said, the double swipe at quarterback, and I'm taking a guy like Fields, even though I don't fully. I'm like 80% sure he's going to be good. I'm still not sure with Fields, and but yeah, at that high in Superflex, I am going to look elsewhere.
It's like the new girl that walks into the bar that you've been going to for the last 12 years. All right. She walks into the bar, she sits up there, she hikes her skirt up a little bit, and she wants you to buy her a drink, Shane. And Shane swipes right and buys her this drink, and then all of a sudden she leaves you. And that's exactly what's going to happen with Bijan Robinson. We've
Too
seen
soon,
it
man.
year after year with top running backs, Jonathan Taylor, even Saquon Barkley is still hanging around. But I mean, these guys don't last as long as quarterbacks and wide receivers do. If I'm sitting here on the turn in a dynasty startup, I'm definitely not going Bijan Robinson. I'm looking for wide receiver. I'm looking for quarterback, especially in super flex leagues. I got to go left, man. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm left on this one. We've always said on this podcast, and it's a something that's worked well every single time it's happened, is once there's an RB1 at the position in Dynasty, what do? You sell him, right?
Ship him off.
Bijan's already there. He hasn't taken a snap. He can't go any higher.
Unreal.
So for me, it's like I assimilate this. It's this chick that all your friends know that they always say these like, oh, she's the hottest chick in the room. Like, you know, you want her. And then you meet her and you're like, yeah, I don't know about her personality though. Like I've never seen
That
it.
matters.
It's not a long-term
Shane.
thing. It's like a one-night stand.
Yeah.
Sure.
Look,
But for me,
I'm
I'm
just-
a personality guy. So for me, it's
okay,
like, you know
so
what?
can I get a summertime out of her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summertime?
You can,
I was just
How
about
about
to
a
say.
fall?
I was just about to say, hey,
That's fine.
you know, it's a fun thing. You know, it's gonna be for fun, and then you know, it's like 2 years down the road, you're gonna be like, okay, this has an end, and we both know it. And
Exactly. If you get me through a season, I think we've fulfilled our obligations to one another, and then I can trade Bijan.
yeah, because you don't want like 3 seasons out of it, because then you're committed, and then
And
you're pretty
then-
much like,
oh, yeah.
He's aged. He's aged.
Yeah.
Then
I mean,
get
in
stuck
running
like
back
Dalvin
terms,
Cook.
Right. A 25-year-old running back in human terms is like a 55-year-old dating
Dog.
partner. No one wants that. There's a reason that elderly men often, or elderly spouses often kill their spouses. No one wants to date old people. That's just
Whoa.
atrocious.
Hey, our time exists for a reason. Okay.
Well,
All right.
yeah, because most of those people killed their spouses, and then they realized that they couldn't
Oh,
get
my
younger.
By the
so they're
time they
like,
got out
"Oh,
of jail, they were 80. So they were like,
Yes.
I got to try this
Yes.
again.
yeah,
Exactly.
They don't put that in their profile, though. I'm just saying. All right, let's move on to our next player. The next rookie in startup ADP is the diminutive quarterback, Bryce Young. He is currently going as QB11, 23rd player off the board. He is right around the same range as QB10, Tua Tagovailoa, wide receiver 9, Tyreek Hill. The aforementioned Brees Hall is drafted one spot behind him. And you know what? I'm going to lump in another rookie quarterback as well because he's right there. It's Anthony Richardson. He is currently 25th overall. You got DK Metcalf and then Kyler Murray. So
this is
Shane,
good.
you've got Anthony Richardson and Bryce. This is like a double. Maybe you're looking for a thruple situation and you're looking to date 2 ladies at once. Like if
sounds
you've got
horrible.
the chutzpah to do it.
It sounds like an actual relationship with 2 women at the same time. Sounds absolutely horrendous. But anyway,
Could be amazing.
That's a nightmare.
Could be awful. All depends on the people involved,
Shane's
right?
checking his blood pressure halfway through the date.
So tell me, what do you do here with Young and Richardson very similar, and some of the players that are around them? How you feeling about this move when they pop up?
Yeah, again, I'm okay taking both of them over Kyler Murray and DK Metcalf. Sure, he's a wide receiver too. I can find wide receiver twos. We're
Ooh,
shooting
he's a wide
upside with
receiver
these-
too, he says.
What about the aforementioned Brees Hall that you just said was running back
RB1?
I want
That's-
Bryce
that's a
over Anthony Richardson. Not so. It's a thin line. It's a Brees Hall size line, but in the
It's a
right
thin haul.
league, in a lot of leagues, I'll take Anthony Richardson. You know what I mean? Playing super flex. No one plays in one quarterback leagues anymore because
Are you taking Young and Richardson over Tua?
Yes.
I was actually
Yes.
surprised that Tua is this high.
Yeah, I take Richardson. What's he QB 11? You said.
QB 12.
Richardson's 12, Young's 11, Tua's 10.
I think I got to take Richardson over Kyler over Tua. I don't know who else is back there, but probably right there.
You mean where Trey Lance used to go, right?
Yes.
The good times. It'll come back. Don't worry.
I'm getting out.
Hopefully.
I think I've made up my mind. I'm getting out.
I can't get out. I'm going to sell him for nothing at this point.
Yeah, well,
So,
So-
Trey Lance, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the fun thing. Like we have this example of this
13
already.
games. 13
And-
games. Yep.
We don't care. We're just fucking full blaze because the upside is so appealing. It's like, yeah, again, it's like Tinder. She's really hot, and she tells you in her bio all these red flags, and you're just like, gonna ignore that. I'm gonna ignore that. Oh, she's a dog mom. Gonna ignore that. She's looking for a partner in crime. I'm gonna ignore that.
She's perfectly imperfect, Shane.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ignore all the red flags and still draft Anthony Richardson too high.
Looking for something serious, but really like the party.
Nice. What would James and Tyler do in this situation? I'm curious because there is a lot of heavy hitters in this area, and I think it might be slightly out of order from what we would have it.
I love Bryce Young. I think he's being slept on just because of his height. And now that I've seen him with a helmet on, anybody realize like he looks taller with pads on? Is it just me?
go. Here we go.
Is he standing on them?
Yes, he is. No, I think he actually looks a lot bigger with football pads on. It's just me, but I'm not scared of the height. I still really like him. And yeah, I think for both quarterbacks, I'm willing to take a chance in the 20s. So they're both right.
Okay. James, what about you?
yeah, I don't have a problem with that. You're getting a younger quarterback that has a lot of upside in both of them. I mean, they both should do well their first year. They're probably both starters. I don't see it an issue grabbing one, especially if it's your QB2. Like if you already have a QB starting out and you're grabbing Anthony Richardson or Bryce Young as a QB2 here at like ADP of 23 to 25, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, if it's your first quarterback.
Yeah, I wouldn't put as
you need to grab
much
some vets.
evidence in that, like conviction.
Yeah, you
in
need
it
to
if
pair
it
him
was
with
my
like a Kirk
QB1,
Cousins later
yeah.
or something.
There you
Right.
go, swiping right on some
Pick up an
grannies.
Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you could do it. You could pick up like Aaron Rodgers down the road. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the crazy version of Tinder. He believes in all the weird stuff.
He's on the
That's-
blackout version. of
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca,
page?
swipe right.
the
Back page?
back page
Nice.
version of Tinder.
Craigslist? All right, let's move on to our next rookie, currently coming in at pick 30, QB 15. So about 3 quarterback spots behind Anthony Richardson and 4 behind Bryce Young. It's CJ Stroud. Some of the players that he's going around, you have Kyler at QB 13, Deshaun Watson at QB 14, and right after that, Stephon Diggs, Saquon Barkley is just after him, as is T. Higgins, Drake London, and Devonta Smith. So I think there's a lot of interesting players here, Shane. I don't know if you're if you're feeling CJ Stroud, but there's a lot of players I like in this area that I would swipe right on. So I'm really curious on how you view this for Mr. Stroud.
Yeah, so I like Stroud more than I like Richardson. So I'm swiping right on him too. But look, I definitely always fall for the upside of rookie quarterbacks, right? Like I know the history of it is like 50-50.
Sure.
But I just assume the dudes I'm grabbing are going to be the ones that are on the good side of that 50. And I'm like, no. Baker Mayfield, that's never going to happen again. This is definitely the next Andrew Luck who doesn't retire at age 30 because he's a weirdo. But I'll swipe right on that. I like him more than I do Richardson. I feel like he's a safer option for whatever that's worth. I don't know if the upside's there. Obviously not, because he's never going to run for 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. But I also feel like he's less likely to bust out of the league in 2 years.
I'll piggyback off of that, and my thoughts exactly, Shane. I'm swiping right on CJ Stroud with you on this one. I believe in his passing ability. His deep ball is so silky smooth. I think they're going to build the offense around him, and he's automatically taking over. He's already getting first starter snaps with the team, beating out Davis Mills.
Let's be real. Like, come on,
let's
not hype that up.
Just raise the headstone over Davis Mills. All right, he's toast. Stroud stepping in, just doing his thing already. I think they're going to continue to build around him with the drafts to come, and I like him. I think he's a safe investment for Dynasty. Like you said, he doesn't run as much, so his longevity in the league, it's going to be there. I mean, even if he only hits the low end QB1 Kirk Cousins ceiling, I'm okay with that because he's a safe, reliable guy, and I'm swiping right here.
Yeah, and they might be bringing in help as early as this year. They are rumored to be in the DeAndre Hopkins sweepstakes with him returning to the Texans, which would obviously help a rookie quarterback a ton. So, Tyler, you swiping left or right on Stroud?
Left. I'm going left. And the simple player that was there, Deshaun Watson. I'm swiping right on Watson over CJ Stroud. Give me those massages. Nothing? No.
Boo.
No,
you can't take Deshaun Watson over him. He's ahead of him in ADP.
But those are the players around him.
Right, they're around him.
That's what we're talking about. And yeah, Watson for me is
you don't want to reach around him.
No.
I wouldn't reach around Deshaun Watson.
You walk around him carefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're very careful about it. But yeah, for sure, I'm going Watson over him, and I think I might go Kyler over him too. I mean, Kyler's paid. We forget about that, and he's progressed.
I just don't like him as a human.
Also, CJ Stroud, I get both those players. Watson and Kyler are not great people. Like, Kyler's a baby, and Watson, yikes. But yeah,
I mean,
football
he likes
player
to play
wise,
video games. Who doesn't like to play video games?
that's true.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any new Call of Duty this year, so he should be good.
There you go.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that he's ahead of schedule in his ACL too shows me that
there is no Call of Duty this year.
He put down the sticks, and he's putting that rehab.
All right. Let's move on to our next rookie. That is wide receiver 17, 40th overall, Jackson Smith-Njigba. This is an interesting one because just ahead of him is the aforementioned tight end 1, Kyle Pitts. Right after him, you've got some older veterans. You've got Cooper Kupp. You've got Austin Eckler. You've got Travis Kelce. You've got Mark Andrews. So the top 3 tight ends are all around Jackson Smith-Njigba. And you've also got Treylon Burks right after Kupp. So that's the kind of range where I want to cut those guys off. Shane, interesting one here, because I know some people love the landing spot for JSN. Some people hate it. I think it's a good landing spot. He may not hit the way we want him in year 1, and that's okay. But are you tempted at tight end here, or are you going to swipe right on JSN?
This is definitely where I'm going to be playing the field. If I can get Mark Andrews, I'm going to take him over JSN. I guess I should take Travis Kelce too at this point because I guess he's just never going to slow down.
Kyle Pitts is one spot ahead. He could be on
3 years ago.
Board
and Kyle Pitts.
If Kyle Pitts is there, easy choice. It's Pitts.
His value can only go up, right?
I got to take all the tight ends over him.
So Grinder is where we're at.
Grinder, yes.
For all the tight ends, you go to Grinder.
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
Okay. Yeah.
No, you go where you go. You get what you get.
That's
I
true.
think if you're taking JSN here in a startup, you're playing the long game. He's obviously not going to be the top number 1 wide receiver this year at all. I think you're going to have to wait until Tyler Lockett actually leaves that organization for him to have an uptick in target share, even though he is probably like the youth version of Tyler Lockett. Plus, and you still have DK Metcalf there, and we all know DK commands targets. I think it's going to be a little more time before JSN actually deserves this kind of ADP here at wide receiver 17, 40th overall.
There's a lot of receivers. Like I would take one of the tight ends here and then wait to receiver on my next pick. Probably. I feel that that's the way to go. And if you're taking one of those tight ends, if it's Kelsey or Andrews, you're more built for a win now situation. So for me, it doesn't. Yeah, that's probably the way that I would naturally build a roster. And if Kyle Pitts was there, yes, like Tyler said, I would take Pitts because his value. We saw what his peak value was just last year when it was impossible to trade for him, and then he gets hurt, doesn't have a great year, he comes back down. He can only go up from here. So when we're talking about players as assets, that's the move to make. Kelsey's only going to go down in value. Andrews could stay the same, but Pitts could definitely skyrocket. Right, Tyler?
100%.
Porcent. All right, let's get to our next rookie. It is RB9, 47th overall. It is Jahmyr Gibbs. The players going in his range, one spot ahead of him is Michael Pittman. Right behind him is Christian Watson, Chris Godwin, Jerry Jeudy, and a couple of other running backs. I'll lump in these running backs with him, so we'll go a little deeper here. But we've got Josh Jacobs as the RB10, Nick Chubb as the RB11, and Tony Pollard as the RB12. All three of those in a row from 51 to 53, but Gibbs is 47th overall. Some people, I've seen articles why Jahmyr Gibbs could be the RB2 in Dynasty. Like, settle down. But Shane, how do you feel about Gibbs? How do you feel about it with the Lions? And he's staring at you in the face. He looks attractive on paper, left or right. Which way you swiping?
Yeah, I'm easy. I'm such a slut. Like, you just give me. I like these young players are basically the equivalent of breasts on in profile apps, like the pictures. Like that's all I see. That's all I can see. Like, I didn't even realize the person has a head. I'm just like, oh, there's boobs. And
that's it. I'm making a fake profile with my breast now for Shane to see if
I'm just gonna KFC bucket with two.
And I would send a like. I'd be like, his breasts are amazing. And you know what else are amazing? Rookies. Just love them. And I'd love Gibbs here. Now, is he the running back too in Dynasty? That's no.
Silly.
No, stop it. I mean, it's Breece Hall, Bijan, and then Gibbs.
That's the kind of season we're in, though. People are writing those articles. So
No, I know. I've heard people argue for it. I don't believe it. I don't buy it, but I still think he's going to be heavily used. He's going to be like, I imagine DeAndre Swift would have been used if he didn't break down every third time he got the ball. But so maybe looking at 15, 20 opportunities a game, heavily targeted is my hope. So, yeah, I do like him. I think he's going to be – they drafted him at 12, right? Apparently they wanted to draft him at 5. There was rumors if they could have drafted him last year, they would have. And the year before that, apparently.
Yeah,
and
they recruited him out of elementary school.
They actually drafted DeAndre Swift thinking it was Jahmyr Gibbs. And that's why they've been so disappointed all the time.
So I'll swipe right on him here, definitely.
Okay. Tyler, what do you think about Jahmyr Gibbs at this spot in startups?
This spot, give me the upside of the running back. Like Jerry Jeudy, I still like, but no. Give me the opportunity for Gibbs to rise in value. Like I can't get out of my head the value of players going up and down like a stock market. And for Gibbs, he could be where Bijan's at if with a big season. And that actually has a possibility to it. Jerry Jeudy, to me, I feel like he's a wide receiver 2 or 3. And that's what he is. We've seen the years and years. And yeah, so for me, it is Gibbs, and I was
actually surprised that Gibbs wasn't ranked higher than JSN in these startups. 100%. To be completely honest,
I think he.
I thought I missed him when I saw JSN. I'm like, did I miss Gibbs? And I'm like, no, you got to keep going, and he's there. That surprised me.
Yeah, and I think that will change the longer we get into the preseason. I'm guessing by August we're going to see Gibbs in the 30s, maybe even 20s.
That is right. James, any words of Jahmyr Gibbs before we move on?
No, I think they did just fine putting him in there right before Christian Watson, Chris Godwin, even Jerry Jeudy, the wide receivers. I mean, he's got the draft capital. Obviously the team wants him to be that 3-down threat. And right here, I'm okay with taking a running back after the big tight ends are gone.
Gotcha. This next one is quite the cluster. We left off at Tony Pollard. He was 53rd overall. Right after him, we've got 3 of the next 4 picks are all rookie wide receivers. Wide receiver 24 is Jordan Addison, followed by wide receiver 25, Quentin Johnston. Then we got DJ Moore at wide receiver 26. And then it's wide receiver 27, Zay Flowers. So 3 out of the 4 our rookies here. Right after them, some interesting names here. Ramondre Stevenson at 58th overall, George Pickens, Javonte Williams, and Najee Harris. I know where I would go on this one. I have strong feelings on this one, but I want to hear what Shane says. Now, how would you stack rank these receivers? Say their profiles are all very similar, and maybe there's a little difference between all of their profiles. What makes you swipe left on two and right on the other? Or you just swipe? I know you're a little bit of a like throw it against the wall and see what it sticks. Are you just going to swipe right on all these receivers?
No. I will swipe left on Quentin Johnston.
That is a smart move.
You mean the guy that literally, since he's been drafted, has not caught with his body and is catching like everything with his hands?
Yeah,
it's nuts.
At his cost, I'll go ahead and swipe left.
Yeah.
I will say this though, all three of them can see their price increase. So really, all three of them it's a good idea.
It's the rookie thing again, Shane.
Yeah, way over like Treylon Burks or George. I don't like George Pickens even a little bit. Even Ramondre Stevenson. But given the choice, it goes Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, and then QJ for me. And Zay Flowers, I'd like that. I kind of want to move him up because he's the one dude out of the three that actually can be a wide receiver one on his roster. And it's going to be a roster or a team that throws more than they have in the past. At least if we believe the tea leaves by bringing in Todd Monken, signing Odell Beckham Jr., and then drafting a wide receiver in the first. It seems to me to be a team that wants to throw the ball. But I have to be true to myself and in drafts when it comes down to it. When I'm given the choice of Jordan Addison and Zay Flowers, I've taken Jordan Addison every time.
Yeah.
Question is, DJ Moore is right there. You taking DJ Moore over these rookies?
The proven production.
I mean, yeah, if you want to be boring. So like if like you're looking for missionary, right?
He was top 10 in deep targets last year.
It's not going to be exciting. Like there's really no upside. Like I can't put this gently, so I'm not going
Maybe she'll talk dirty to you every once in a while.
I mean, but even then, she won't let you get too dirty. She'll be like, oh, back off. And you're like, what the fuck? I thought this is what we were doing. And she's like, oh, you can't say things like that, though. I'm like, all right.
Her safe word is password. It's guess.
So look, yeah, if you're just looking for a wide receiver, high-end wide receiver 2 production, go for it. But if you want to shoot a little higher and maybe be able to sell, more importantly, at a higher sale rate in a year, go with the rookies.
Guys, any thoughts on the rookies here?
Everyone except for Quentin Johnson, I would take over DJ Moore. So the Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, I'm on the rookie train there. I would just go for DJ Moore because I'm still undecided on Quentin Johnson's actual production on that team. We still don't see it.
Quarterback that draws you.
It's
right
the
back
same
in.
wide receiver as Mike Williams, in my opinion. And I mean, they had a hard time keeping Mike Williams on the field. I think they're going to have a hard time keeping Quentin Johnson on the field.
I mean, literally, Mike Williams is the complete opposite of what Quentin Johnson did in college. So
I'm not worried about what he did in college. I'm worried about if he can make it in the NFL.
Yeah, I think Quentin Johnson, if he hits, he is the guy that's going to just jump everything because of the immense upside and the youth and the team he's on with the quarterback. So I'm okay with any of these receivers.
Aren't all these rookie wide receivers young?
Yes, but we're talking like quarterback situations. Like for Minnesota, Kirk Cousins could be out the door.
Cooper Kupp was an old rookie wide receiver. How'd that work out?
I mean, Zay Flowers, he's 22, not 21. But
my lesson looking at this ADP is I would take Ramondre Stevenson here.
Give me Najee over Ramondre. Give me Najee over all these players personally.
Yeah.
Give me Ramondre, 4th at running back position in catches last year. They didn't bring in anybody. He's awesome. The line's good. Yeah, give me Ramondre.
And then you keep scrolling. New England Patriots. Okay, maybe I overthought this.
I hate you. All right, let's move on to our next rookie. I got to scroll down here a bit. It's going to be about an hour or 3. Hold on, I'm looking.
Guessing Dalton Kincaid.
Oh my God, hold on. I'm going to keep going. I'm scrolling still. I'm not prepared. I'm wasting time. Oh, all the way down to 107. Talk about a steep cliff in this rookie draft. That's where Shane said, yeah, once you get to like 110, like Godspeed. Tight end 8, Buffalo Bills, Dalton Kincaid. He's going right around players. Let's start around the Isaiah Pacheco, Matthew Stafford, Wandale Robinson. He's going right ahead
This
of
is an
Kenny.
easy swipe right.
Yeah,
We
he's
could
going.
just do this
He's going
quick.
right ahead
Yes.
of Kenny Pickett.
These people are
Ooh.
horrible. They are atrocious. I am swiping right hard on
Pickett in a
Kincaid.
super flex
I'm taking
league, though.
Pickett. I'm taking Pickett.
I
I
ain't
knew you
taking
would.
Pickett. I did that to myself last year. I went, look, it's super flex. I have to do it. I have to draft him. The first quarterback drafted it in the NFL, and then he went out and played, and he's not good. And my best hopes for him is that he'll improve to being not bad. So like QB 16.
I think he can be
17.
a solid QB2.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
we're
never
sitting
going to
here
be a
talking-
QB1.
We're sitting here
Right.
talking him over a rookie tight end that
Yeah.
I mean is on a good team, but also has another tight end they paid and has weapons. The reason why we love Kyle Pitts is because
And
they
if
had
they bring in Hopkins, it's sad trombone for this year for Dalton Kincaid. Sorry.
legit. The reason why we liked Pitts because people are like, well, we drafted Pitts early. Pitts had nothing there. He was the
Well,
only
and-
option.
And Pitch's collegiate production was sublime,
Bananas.
and
100%.
his athletic profile was absurd.
Yeah, we
Like,
don't know
Kincaid's not in
Kincaid's
that.
athleticism.
Yeah,
Like,
Kincaid's
he was
not in
hurt.
that conversation.
And Pitts
There's a
is
lot of
actually
missing
younger
pieces for
than
Kincaid.
Kincaid. So
All right,
let's not
fine. You
forget
know
about
what?
that.
Maybe I'll take Kenny Pickett over him. It's super flex. I'm gonna take Kenny Pickett. Here's the thing about Kincaid. I do like him. He's ranked way too high in Dynasty already, and there's gonna be at least 2 more Dalton Kincaids next year. Like there's a Dalton Kincaid every year.
There's a
Brock Bowers is
Brock
a
Bowers.
Dalton
next
Well,
year.
Kincaid plus.
that's a Kyle Pitts. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But there's definitely at least 1 or 2 Dalton Kincaids in every draft that you can point to and be like, oh, yeah, this is a guy like Trey McBride. We loved Trey McBride last year. No one
Yeah.
even remembers who he is this year. Like
Who's
he
that?
knocks on his mom's
Martina
door. She won't let him
McBride's
in.
son.
Yes.
He
So-
knocks on both of his mom's doors. He has 2 moms.
No, good for
Trey
him.
McBride.
Awesome.
Wow.
Neither of them like him though.
Trey
because
make
he's
2
tiny,
brides.
He didn't do anything. in
Trey
fantasy.
brides.
Ooh.
No.
That'd be 3.
Dose brides.
Dose brides. Yeah. Yes, I like that. All right, so that's enough Dalton Kincaid talk. I think we're all in the same
Yeah.
boat with that one. The next rookie is just about 10 spots below. It is Zach Charbonnet, 116th overall, RB29. Some of the names are right around him. We've got David Montgomery, Darnell Mooney, Rondale Moore, Khalil Herbert, Tyler Lockett, Brian Robinson. Here's a fun one. Cam Akers, currently the RB32. What?
Good.
What?
Hurt me once.
Shane,
Shame on
do the right
you.
thing here.
Hurt me
Interesting.
twice.
Interesting.
Shame on
Well,
me.
I got bad news for you. I'm swiping right on Charbonnet definitely over Darnell Mooney.
Is it the fancy name?
And
Sounds like Chardonnay.
yeah, it
Girls
does
like
sound
wine.
You're like,
Chardonnay.
ooh,
They do-
must be
they do like
French.
wine.
The recently
wine.
recently injured David Montgomery, and definitely taking Zach Charbonnet over there.
And you're sitting there looking at the last name. You're like, ooh, French maybe. Maybe has a little.
Maybe French, so that
Yeah.
means
It's French kissing,
Smelly.
maybe. Ooh.
I mean, the upside on Zach Charbonnet is
Smelly.
just far higher than any of these other players in front of him. David Montgomery, Darnell Mooney, Rondale Moore. I mean, throw up in my mouth a little bit.
So
Give me
I mean, if
Cam
anything
Akers.
happens to Ken Walker, Zach Charbonnet is a bona fide RB,
Yeah.
top 10 RB1 in
I'm going-
in this in,
I'm going
in the league.
Charbonnet
So,
over Akers just because.
yeah, I'll go Charbonnet over Khalil Herbert, Brian
Yeah,
Robinson,
yes.
That makes sense. Yeah.
and then Akers is. I mean, he's coming up on the last year of his contract, still only 23 years old, 1 year older than Zach Charbonnet. I still have hope in Akers, and I like the value pick right here, but I may go Charbonnet over Akers for
Yep.
upside purposes.
I mean, I get it. The Achilles injury for Akers is
Yeah,
one of the things that they're
100%.
factoring in
Mhm.
here. So
and so
it's just
also-
crazy because Charbonnet drafted anywhere else, and yes, this you could say this about a lot of different things, right? But drafted anywhere else, well, just about anywhere else than Seattle. The guy's a top 12 dynasty running back,
Yep.
and he gets drafted by Seattle, and it's just crash, just nothing. We're all like, just I
banging
don't
our
even
heads
want this
against
guy
the
on my
wall
roster.
right there.
Seattle
I'm
goes,
rough.
hey, remember when you had an opportunity to go out last year? Yeah, you're bad. No,
Yeah.
I just want to say this with the rest of the rookies. We could probably just.
I was
get
gonna
done
lump.
with
There's
this
a
real
one
quick.
big group, and I want to do that
I
one
was gonna
last.
say because
Yeah.
in this territory, you're taking rookies for upside over players we've seen like Wandale, was interesting because I still like his upside. But other than that, it's like you hear the names and you're just like, give me the rookie that
Okay, so
has fresh legs.
again, just comparing this to dating profiles. This is the area where they in the bio it says I'm a good time, or you know what I mean. Like you're just like, oh, okay, I'm swiping right no matter what. Like it's just
So
Not
yes,
here
Yes.
for a long time. Here for
Right.
a
Here's
good time
good
or
time.
whatever.
here's
Yeah,
Shane,
Here for
though.
a good time, not a
'Cause
long
we're,
time.
we're talking about rookies.
Perfect.
Here's Shane. He sees that and he goes, you know what? I can change her. She could be my wife because you want a long term investment in it, and you know for a fact it's
Well,
probably
no.
not long term.
That's why you need to flip these rookies. It's not going to turn out well.
Nice. Let's give you guys some last group cluster of ADP here, just for the audience so they know what we're dealing with. So pick 126 is Marvin Mims at wide receiver 53. Pick 127 at QB 30 is Will Levis. Pick 128 RB 34 is Kendre Miller. Pick 129 RB 35 is Devin A-Chain, and then 2 picks later after Alec Pierce is pick 131 tight end 12 Michael Mayer, and then you got Sam Laporta, Rashee Rice, Josh Downs, Mingo. They're all in this area here. So I think Shane's just like, boom, give me the upside, swipe right. I'll take him over some of these dusty names that we're looking at. Like, I'm not to say Alec Pierce is dusty, but you've got Alec Pierce, we've got Greg Dulcich, you've got Antonio Gibson, you've got Dalton Schultz, James Cook, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Myers. You're going with the rookies, it sounds like, all day on that one.
I'm going with James Cook.
Well, I know you are.
I remember this person.
James Cook is the one random 33-year-old that's in that range. Like everyone else is 52, and you're like, what? No. Oh wait, second look. Let me get that back. There's a 33-year-old in there. Gotta go
Yeah.
back.
For me, James Cook isn't easy over all these players. Will Levis might be the one that I think should be earlier. Just quarterback with some very long-term upside.
Yeah.
I mean, I see all these rookies, and I'm just like scrolling down even further to 153 and seeing Sam Howell just sitting there in a Superflex startup. I would definitely be all over that instead of Jalen Hyatt, who is a giant,
Yeah.
But I'll definitely, especially Jamal Williams, like that's just ridiculous. Give me the quarterback over all these guys. But if I had to pick, I would say go Will Levis with the highest upside as a super flex startup, or even take a chance on Devin A-Chain here. I wouldn't have a problem.
I just thought of Jalen Hyatt's profile. You know, like,
Stay away from Kendre Miller.
like,
He's a 1 year
they're
wonder.
they're smiling, not showing their teeth, and then there's a picture way at the end where they show their teeth, and it's just jagged edges, and you're just like, whoa!
You can't swipe left fast enough. You're like, "Nyeh."
You were
Yeah.
just about to hit right, and he was like, oh crap, no.
You guys are awful. I just need you to know that every one that I swipe right on, it's because of their personality shining through on the dating app, because that's what I'm looking for.
They changed the font in their name, right?
They're all about
Yeah,
they're
that's pretty.
They're a whole vibe. They're a vibe. They're a whole mood.
Oh,
That's
my
what I
God.
need.
I'm a whole vibe. Yes, that's a killer.
I'm just
one.
here to
Yeah.
vibe.
And you know what? And if you want to vibe, especially when you go out on your first date, you know what you do? You use Manscaped. Shane, when you go out on a first date, you're hoping to maybe get lucky. You're in these Tinder streets. You're not going to go out all woolly mammothy. You're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to trim it down. It makes it look bigger. Am I right? So you're like, I'm going to be trim. I'm going to look good. I'm going to be clean. I'm going to smell good. I'm going to feel good. I don't know how you taste good, but like whatever. But you can
Like
do all
Keon
those
said
things
it.
with. Yes. You can do all those things with Manscaped. You get the Lawnmower 4.0 wireless charging. It's waterproof. It's got a light on it. So if you want to get kinky and shave yourself in the dark, hey, that's on you. Do your thing. But all the revivers, the the refresher, everything is there. And you get nose and ear trimmer. We talked about having gray hairs. You know what that means. We got some creepy crawlies in the ears and the nose. You want to take care of those too. No one wants to be looking at that when you're
You
on a
can't
first
dye
date.
those.
Well, you
Helps
can't
out
dye
with
those.
allergies.
You got to take them out.
Yep.
Take them out. So check out Manscaped today. Use code DHH and save 20% off when you buy a new razor on manscaped.com. Shane, before we wrap this thing up, I wanted to thank you for joining us on our annual Tinder episode. It was quite a good time, much like yourself on those dating apps. So give us this is all about you. Let us know where we can find you, what you're working on. read your profile aloud for everyone to hear. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that.
Perfectly imperfect.
We'll,
Let's see.
yeah,
I'm a
we'll
vibe.
trade roster reviews for dates. Yeah, Dynasty Trades HQ podcast, Dynasty Trades in 5 on the YouTubes. Go subscribe. We got a big live stream coming up on June 17th. We're doing 5-hour Dynasty Trades in 5, 5-hour live stream, 7 to 12. So that's going to be fun. So come poke your head in during those 5 hours and keep us company.
Nice. And we can find you at Shane is the worst on Twitter.
And Spoutable. Also
Yes.
on Spoutable.
And Tinder.
And Tinder, I'm not allowed on anymore, but that's such a different conversation.
That's why he said Bumble earlier. Shout out to Bumble.
Oh my God. That
Tinder
is
banned.
awesome.
Tinder banned. Hey,
He's not allowed within 100 feet of Tinder.
The app has a restraining order out on him.
Don't even think about downloading it.
Don't touch me ever again.
Hey, and if you're looking to make a good first impression on those dates, go on Viridian Global. Look for some Dynasty Happy Hour gear. You want to show what you represent? Grab a T-shirt or a sweatshirt or maybe a nice hat. She'll be like, ooh, you into podcasts? And be like, yeah, it's my podcast. It's my friend's podcast. I know the guy. He was on the thing.
I listened to it.
Totally impressive. Girls are all about fantasy football. Don't let him fool you.
We got to get a Dynasty Happy Hour HR shirt. A
The Durr. DHHHR.
DHHR. Yep, 100%. It'll have like a silhouette of like a Karen haircut. It'll be
Definitely
great.
needed the DHHHR on this episode.
DHHR. Yep, 100%. So check out Viridian Global for all your needs. Summer is upon us, even though it felt like fall today here in New England. You can get your T-shirts, your hats, and your sweatshirts before it gets so chilly at night. Or if she wants to steal your sweatshirt, that's another one. She's going to steal your sweatshirt, Shane. She puts it in her profile.
Yeah.
She's going to snatch your sweatshirt. Don't let it be your Dynasty Happy Hour sweatshirt. Give her some other raggedy-ass old friggin' sweatshirt from back in the day.
Dynasty Trades HQ. That's fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
take that one.
He's got a closet full of them anyway. It's fine.
That's true.
It's a parting gift, right? Hey,
Yeah.
this will keep you warm. Go rep my brand.
Your Uber's out there. Go.
Your Uber's out there.
Take the
Reminds me-
rags.
Reminds me of
Get
that
the
little
Uber.
Dickie song with the Uber
Shades
and
is
Lyft
like,
and the
oh,
little
we
tongue.
got us refrigerator magnets and some stickers for your laptop. That's all we got now.
Take this consolation toothbrush and get in the Uber.
Have a great evening. Here's several stickers for you.
Maple Scottfish
Yeah,
Bowl
kids.
9.
Here, they'll love these. Take them home.
Scottfish
Maybe a
Bowl
nice,
9
maybe a nice
stickers.
koozie.
Oh,
A
man,
koozie.
we gotta get out of here.
All right, that's going to wrap us up this week. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, where we're going live every Sunday at 9 o'clock Eastern. Also on Facebook Live, you can check us out too. iTunes, leave a review. Not on this episode, please. And give us a like and comments. We would love it. For Tyler, for James, for our guest star, Shane Manila. Shane is the worst on Twitter. I'm your host, Doug Eddy. We will see you next week on Dynasty Happy Hour.
Oh, man, I thought of a good one. You can get her the koozie.